Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, I am a 39-year-old wife, mother, and I'm on a journey to pay off over $500,000 in debt. Each week, I share my debt update towards paying off this $500,000 in debt, and this week is nothing new. So, let us get right into it. Actually, what is new is how I will be presenting my update. I typically hand write out my update, but I wanted to show you this new debt reduction calculator. Well, it's not new, but it's new for this channel. So I don't plan to use this every week. I do like writing out my debt updates, but I wanted to show you this debt reduction calculator in the event that you are interested in using it. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever. It is free to use, but I think it is very helpful if you are interested in using it. So let us get right into my debt update. Now, this is a little bit out of order from the order I typically use, but I'm going to go ahead and share my totals with you. If you're new to my channel, I refinanced a small portion of a student loan that I co-signed on. My original refinance balance for that was $1,000. That balance is now $235. That is at an interest rate of 7.5%, and my monthly payment is $87. I will have this paid off in September. I don't plan to draw this out in any way, shape, or form. I am considering going ahead and refinancing another small portion. I don't even know if my credit union will allow me to keep doing these little small portions. They know what my intentions are with the refinance. I was very upfront about that, but they're not really getting anything out of it on their end. I think they've made $2 in interest from me. So it's just not beneficial for them to allow me to refinance such small portions, but we'll see what happens. Next up is my student loan. This is the unsubsidized portion of my student loan, and that balance is now $7,330. That is at 4.625%. My monthly payment is $218. This is actually a consolidated loan with a subsidized portion of my federal loans. My loans were sold off to a private company, so I do not get any of the benefits of a federal, any of the federal benefits. I was never in forbearance or anything like that. So I've just been paying this whole time, even though these once were federal loans. Next up is my co-signed loan. This is the loan that I co-signed on for a family member for that person's student loans, and that balance is now $19,282. That is at 15% interest, which is astronomically high. It's like a credit card. And that payment is $296 per month, though I pay $300 per month. I make two payments of $150 each per month. Next up is the subsidized portion of my consolidated student loans, and that portion is at $20,914. There's been no change since last week. I did my net worth update, which included my debt update in it. So there's been no change since last week, and that rate is at 4.625%. That the portion of my payment that goes towards the subsidized portion of my consolidated loan is $263. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, in the past I was questioning whether or not, if I paid off this unsubsidized portion, if my payment would go away, this $218 portion, if that requirement would go away. And I spoke with my student loan servicer, and they did say that portion would go away. So once this unsubsidized portion of my student loan is paid off, I technically will only need to pay this $263. Of course, I'm still going to pay more than that, as God willing, as long as my income is still allows me to do so, because I don't want to be presumptuous and think that everything's always going to be the same. But God willing, if my income remains the same, I would definitely still put this $218 just on top of this $263. Last but not least is my mortgage. There has been no change since last week on my mortgage, and that balance is $483,228. That is at 2.25%, but don't let that small interest rate fool you. It is a what is the term? An FHA loan, and therefore I am paying PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. With new FHA loans in the past, once you had 20% equity on your home, you could get rid of the PMI. With an FHA loan, I think after 2013, but don't quote me on that. But I think after 2013 FHA loans, the PMI lasts for the entirety of the loan. I did not know that when I signed up to get the FHA loan. I did qualify for a conventional 30-year mortgage. However, the payment was going to be more on that mortgage than it was with the FHA loan, so I went with the FHA loan. But had I known I could never get rid of the PMI, I would not have done that. So let that be a warning to anyone who is in the market to buy a home. Don't do an FHA loan. And because interest rates are so high at this time, I cannot refinance and get a better deal than what I have now. So if interest rates ever come down again, I will look into refinancing. I need to have below 4.4% for it to be of benefit to me. If not, I'll be stuck with this FHA loan. One thing that I did not have last week that I do have now, which I don't even know how I have this now, but I do have credit card debt in the amount of $12 at 8.5%. We're just going to put that payment's going to be $12, and that's that on that. So with this debt reduction calculator, your monthly payment, they want it to at least be the total of your minimum payments of your debt. So I'm going to put over here $19.50. Sometimes if you put the amount shown here, it'll still say it's too low. So I'm going to just put $19.51 so that too low will go away. And here we are. Now, let's get into what this calculator can do. So there are various strategies when it comes to debt payoff, and this calculator covers a bunch of them. So the first one is the snowball strategy, where you will pay off your debt starting with the lowest balance first, and you will work your way up to the largest balance. So in my case, if we click on snowball, it has my credit card first. So that would be paid off in 1 month. That 1 over 12 just indicates the month. So that'll be paid off in 1 month, and I would have that paid off by October. The next thing is the refinance loan. That also would be paid off in 1 month, and I would have that paid off in October. One thing, I think I was playing around with this and put some extra payments in here. So let me clear these out so that we can actually get it if I were to not have any extra money. So rewind. If I were to have no extra money, which if you follow me, you know that I typically do have a few $1,000s extra to put towards my debt. But if I'm just paying the minimums on everything, so this is going to be my worst case scenario as of right now. I would have my credit card paid off by October. I would have my refinance loan paid off by December. I would have the unsubsidized portion of my student loan paid off in 2 years and 2 months. So that would be November of 2025. I would have my co-signed loan paid off in October of 2028. So it would take me 5 years and 1 month to pay that off. Then I would have the subsidized portion of my student loan paid off in 5 years and 11 months. So that would be August of 2029. And then I guess I have too many mortgage payments, so that would have me at September of 2048. Just so you're aware, up here, this $1,074 that I have going towards my mortgage, that does not include my escrow amount. My mortgage payment is actually more. However, this is the portion of my mortgage payment going towards my principal and interest. So $1,074 would be actually going towards this loan. Now, so that's with the snowball method. So I would be completely debt-free September of 2048. I would be free of all consumer debt by August of 2029. Now, if we were to go to the avalanche method, this method is paying off the debt with the highest interest first, and then progressively paying off the remaining debt based on the interest rate. So the last debt I would pay off would be my mortgage, which has the lowest interest rate. So with that being said, we would start off with my co-sign loan. It would still take me 5 years and 1 month to pay off. So I would have that paid off by October of 2028. So it's not that much better than with the snowball method. With my credit card, I would have that paid off in November. With my refinance loan, I would have that paid off in December of this year. With the unsubsidized portion of my loan, I would have that paid off in October of 2026. The subsidized portion would take me 5 years still, so that's still August of 2029. And my mortgage is still showing up as September 2048. So you can see between the two methods, the final outcome is not changing. The final outcome is still going to be August of 2029 for my consumer debt and September of 2048 for my mortgage. Now, the stair-stepper method, this method typically uses interest rates that are around the same, but then paying off the lower one first. So here they would have me paying off my credit card first, then my refinance loan, then the unsub loan, my cosign loan, then the subsidized loan, then my mortgage. So once again, nothing's changing here. August 2029 and September 2048. Then I can do it by the order entered in the table. So here you can see you could put a number here. So I have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With me paying off the refinance loan first because it does have the lowest balance and I would be able to free up money quickly with that. So I would have the refinance loan paid off by December. The credit card paid off by November. And everything else is still pretty much the same. August of 2029, September of 2048. The next method is no snowball. So if I were to just pay the minimums and then spend the extra money that I, freed up. So once, say I pay off this refinance loan, instead of putting that $87 payment on another loan, I'm just keeping that $87. So as you can see, if I do that, my consumer debt would not be paid off until September 2031. It's still showing my mortgage as September 2048. So we'll see. But that's not an option for me. We're definitely doing some type of snowball. And then I can do custom with the highest first. So being that I already put these in order, it's really not. If I do custom with the highest first, it's just going to start from the credit card and go backwards. So that's definitely not beneficial. Still, that would have me paying off the consumer debt by 2031 and my mortgage by 2048. Another thing you can do in this is, say you do have extra money to put towards these loans, I can put an additional amount here. So say I have an additional $1,000 that I can put on my debt. Here you can see the monthly payment. So I would put, based on what I have in this strategy right now, I'm going to go back to the avalanche method. Or let's go back to the snowball method. If I go back to the snowball method and I put in an extra $1,000, it's going to show me paying off my refinance loan and then putting extra money on this unsubsidized portion of my student loan. And if I keep scrolling, you can see when the loans will be paid off. And you can see how the payment increases. So once this loan is paid off, you can see this payment increasing up to $614 on the cosign loan. Then once the cosign loan's paid off, you can see this subsidized loan payment increasing to $877. And then my mortgage won't increase for a while, but it'll eventually go up to $1,951. You can also look at this snowball chart. It shows you your total balance going down, and it shows you how your snowball payment is going up. So overall, because of my debt, there's no significant differences between the methods for me in my case. I am going to do a couple of things. One, I am going to go ahead and pay off this refinance. Well, first of all, this little $12 credit card. I'm going to pay that off first. And then I'm definitely going to pay off my refinance loan next. And then I am going to focus on this unsub portion. I am still deciding whether or not I'm going to try to refinance another small portion. I may do $2,000 of this cosign loan. I'm going to talk to my credit union and see what they say. I hope they don't try to force me into just refinancing the whole loan at this time. Another thing came up. The person whose loan this belongs to, that person's family is getting larger. There is a baby on the way. And so once I found out that news, it really hit me like that person is not going to pay back this money. So with that being said, I do recognize and understand that this is going to be on me in one way, shape, or form. And so I just need to, one, get my husband on board because he's still adamant about the other person paying. But to just do what is in my best interest, which is not this 15% at all. So yeah, that's where I stand. I hope this was helpful for you. You can find this debt reduction calculator at vertex42.com, and you can play around with it for your own situation. If you do have extra money, like I can go in here as well. And if this extra money is going to be consistent, the extra money to put on your debt for one-time situations is best to put on this payment schedule. But if you consistently are going to have an extra $1,000 per month, you can go in here and update your monthly payment to $29. So I'm going to put $29.51, and then it's going to update my snowball amount, and it's going to change these balances here. Okay, so as you can see, things look a lot better. I would have my mortgage paid off in 18 years. which is early for me. And I would have my consumer debt paid off in 2 years and 4 months. So just by paying an extra $1,000, which is, I won't say just, because that is significant and it can be hard to make an extra $1,000, but you can see the power of just adding an extra $1,000 to your debt. So hopefully this helped you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment box below. My next video will be a budget with me video. I do have a check coming up. We're still in the weird phase with my husband's paycheck, so I'm still having to compensate out of my paychecks for some of the things that we would typically use his paycheck for. But we will be back to normal in October, so I'm looking forward to October for sure. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss a thing, and be blessed.